Here are my top 4 tips for going to the gynecologist OBGYN. These are tips for you if you've only recently graduated from your pediatrician. So I'll tell you what works for me. Leave me comments if you try them and let me know what works for you. Ready? Number 1, download a movie. Download a movie that you want to see. If you're seeing a specialist who's good, you're probably going to have to wait. I once waited for my gynecologist for 4 hours, and I sat there and waited without complaint because I knew my doctor was saving somebody else's life or baby. When it came turn to be the person saved, there was time for me. So watch your movie, chill, plan on at least a half a day. Then you can be pleasantly surprised when you get in faster. But you don't want to sit there and feel resentful. It is not all about you when you're in the waiting room. You're waiting so that it can be all about you. Don't get crazy. And by the way, the more you bug the front desk, the more agitated everyone gets. They're not into you. They're not going to hear it. It's not going to help. Stay chill. Second tip for going to the gynecologist OBGYN. Doctors don't like it when you give them a diagnosis. Because of what I do, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and all of them include diagnoses of what's wrong with you, especially if you're a woman. If you have a regular menopausal cycle, if you don't have a regular menopausal cycle, if you think you're perimenopausal, if you think you're menopausal, if you think that you have something wrong with your thyroid, if you suddenly decide you have Hashimoto's disease or long-term COVID, if you walk in and announce the disease you have, it is not going to help your doctor. If you're not going to help your doctor can't help you. What helps your doctor, instead of telling them what you've got, is to tell them what's going on with you. And by the way, once I get close to doctors, they've told me that they kind of shut down when somebody comes in with a long list. You know those lists that you want to take to the doctor that says, I have this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Doctor can't deal with all those things. Most doctors are paid by somebody in 15-minute increments. They've got 15 minutes to listen to you, observe you, decide what the next step is, treat. That does not leave time for a list. If you are basically okay, this is going to be a project for 20, 30, maybe even 40 years. You don't have to tell them everything at once. All you have to know is this somebody who will listen to me about one symptom? If they'll listen about one, they'll listen to another one next time. It is worth taking time to mention the big symptom. If you have one thing that's really hurting you, you want to be totally focused on getting their attention to that. I say this because of how much I'm seeing online about women who are having really terrible, awful, painful, debilitating period. I was reading a post from a woman who said that her periods were so bad when she got to labor, it was not a problem because it felt like her period. It turns out that woman had really terrible endometriosis. The deal is, if you are experiencing a lot of pain, if something is really badly wrong, if you are gushing blood for more than a few days and it's really bad, that is not normal. That is a symptom. If your doctor doesn't pay attention to one big symptom, find another doctor. And that's where your total focus should be, saying, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is right. And then you can get to the point where they trust you about everything. My personal story here is I had the same gynecologist for a very long time. And over years, we built up trust. I called one day and said, I don't know. I just feel like I have breast cancer. It's like, okay, come in. We did a mammogram. I had it. Now, a lot of other doctors I saw through that process say, there's no way you could have known. But this doctor had built up trust in me and I had built up enough trust in my doctor, we could get to that conversation. You can't have that the first time. The first time it has to be, this seems really wrong with me. Start with the bad stuff, build up trust, and you can get to other things later. The fourth piece of advice, the last one, is a really hard one. It's worth the work though. The calmer you are, the less it will hurt. Let me say that again. The calmer you are, the less it will hurt. You know, once you get in there and they say, oh, this is gonna pinch, or you're gonna see a doctor who is old school, who doesn't warm up the speculum. Oh, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna see a doctor who has a metal speculum instead of one of the softer ones. Yeah, maybe that's gonna hurt. What I do is leave my earbuds in until the last minute and have the most calming music possible to make sure I'm chill before they go all up in there. The calmer I am, the less it will hurt. Now, here's a plug for an app that I use that works for me. They are not sponsors. I pay retail for them. It's called Spiritune, S-P-R-I-T, I think one T, U-N-E-S. It's binaural, I hope I'm saying that right, beats. It works directly on your brain. And there's a little dial where it says, you know, what are you feeling now? And you just put in anxious and it says, what do you want to feel? You say calm, you hook that baby up, you leave your earpods in, and you stay there until someone touches you. Stay calm. So those are my tips. I would be particularly interested in hearing from you what you try to stay calm through this experience. I know that it can be scary, especially the first few times that you go. We'll do another video that talks about when you're waiting for test results from a doctor and you get all worked up in the middle of the night about why you're so scared. But for now, we're just going to stop with one symptom, one visit, establishing trust, staying calm, feel my love. Thank you.